Welcome everybody to today's stream. For today's stream, well, first of all, I missed you, and second of all, for today's stream, we are going to be talking about Slater Young. Because if you've been on the internet in the last couple of days, then you would know that Slater said something very controversial. Pag-uusapan natin yan ngayon, and ultimately though, I think he did the right thing. So for that, you're gonna have to skip to the 10-minute mark if you're just after the content. But if you're here to support the channel, please watch everything because from now until the 10-minute mark, magpe-prepare tayo. Isisend natin yung stream na to other people. And we're gonna, I guess we can talk a little bit. Alright? But yeah, I'll see you at the 10-minute mark. And since you're already here, please subscribe and please like if you haven't yet. Please like this video if you haven't yet. Alright, let's share the live stream. Hey Paolo, long time no see. Ako lang naman po si Carlos po. Hello Paolo, what's up? Okay, let's keep sharing the live stream. Man, feels a little weird to be gone for a long time and then pagbalik ang daming energy para magsalita or para makipag-usap ulit. But also at the same time, it feels a little weird because I feel like ang tagal kong nawala. If you really think about it though, about 1 week. Sup, Ron? Oh, let's share the live stream. Hold on. 1 week tayong nawala. Oh, I did one YouTube live. Paolo, while I was in... What? Hold on, we have the wrong thumbnail, chat. Wait, do we have the wrong thumbnail? Hold on. Wrong thumbnail ba tayo? Give me a minute here. Yeah, bakit pali yung thumbnail na nakalagay dito? Hold up. Don't worry, Paolo. I'll be there to answer. Weird. Iba yung thumbnail na lumalabas dito. Huh. Interesting. Give me a minute here. Yung thumbnail na lumalabas dito, yung thumbnail natin last week. Let's see how we can fix this. Tagal na nga natin di nagla-live. Di na natin alam kung ano yung mga pinipindot. Man, I think mali yung thumbnail. Oh, tama naman yung thumbnail. Yeah, okay. So ako lang yung nag-error. Alright, no. Yeah, babalik ka rin. Sa IGN Live, no, we had it live here, Paolo, on YouTube. Monday, if I'm not mistaken, last week, nagmukbang tayo ng Thailand McDonald's. And the video is up in the live section of our YouTube channel. It's not a live stream I'm particularly proud of, only because, chat, napansin ko lang, at the end of the live stream, hindi nakasaksak yung mic ng maayos. So, sayang yung effort. Nagdala pa ako ng mic para mag-stream pero hindi rin pala nakabit ng maayos. Hold on, give me a minute. I'm also gonna post on Instagram. Jax! Yan. Posted on yan, posted on Instagram. Mag-live na tayo sa TikTok. Grabe! Iba rin pala talaga kapag ang tagal din nakakapag-stream. I think this is the longest time ever that I haven't streamed. Kaya parang naninibago talaga tayo. Okay, here. Let's go live on TikTok. Yan. We're here. We're live. Pupunta akong Conquest, hindi Jax. Ano yung Conquest? Curious ulit ako. Ano yung Conquest? Conquest, Manila? Oh, gaming, music, and pop culture? Teka lang. I think I should be going here. Yo, Jax, legit to? Tara! G ako. Actually, fine. Teka lang. Premium pass? Hold up. Wait a minute. We'll do the 3-day pass. I think we'll be more than happy to do the 3-day pass. Okay. So, I'll read more about this. Thank you, Jax, for bringing this up. I definitely want to be there. Oo nga eh. Ano, Jax Premium? How's the sticky rice? Were you nice? Of course. Why wouldn't we be nice to the waiters and the waitresses? But the sticky rice, Paolo, I have to say, kung 8 days tayong naandoon sa Thailand, we had mango sticky rice 4 of those days. And then we had milk tea. Probably if I was there for 8 days, I likely had milk tea maybe about 12 to 13 times in those 8 days. So you do the math. Wait, let me confirm kung tama na finally yung thumbnail natin. And then we can start the stream in about 2 minutes. It's gonna be a straight to the point stream. Pag-uusapan talaga natin yung Slater Young issue and why I do think he did the right thing. So I hope you give this one a chance. Yeah, tama na finally. O diba? Tama na finally yung thumbnail natin. Thank you, paring Ray. Speaking of You Deserve to Eat, shout out nga pala kay Joe Sebastian. Really amazing content creator, also on Instagram and on TikTok. Merch niya to. But speaking of You Deserve to Eat, after this live, we're gonna jump straight to Kumu kasi magmumukbang tayo ng chocolate fudge na tikoy. Yeah, tikoy nga ba? I think it's tikoy. Yeah, hopya, not tikoy, hopya. I did a lot of research also, by the way, today, chat. Probably we're talking about 5, 10, to over 20 tabs worth of stuff to dig into. Starting in 1 minute. Wait, what? Wait, natawa ako kay Paolo and then I only realized kung ano yung sinasabi niya after I read it the first time. Oh no. Oh no. What's up, MJ? Hello. Hello, everybody. Kervin, what's up? TikTok fam. I see you. Jump to my YouTube right now because we're talking about Slater Young. I'm gonna be showing you a lot of videos, a lot of photos, and even texts na hindi ko maipapakita dito sa TikTok. So I suggest, and I really, really hope to see you over here on YouTube. Search for my username. CI Benipayo rin yung username ko. And I hope to see you here. Just say TikTok fam so that we can show you love back. And then let's start the live stream as soon as possible. Topic natin today, MJ. Topic natin today will be Slater Young. Sup, Tin? Long time no see. Nice to see you again, paring Ray. G Caleb. Oh, by the way, chat, as we do deep dive into this, it's been a long time since nag-deep dive tayo. Normally, we have Sari stream, meme review Mondays, or deep dives. This is the first deep dive we've done in a very long time. I think the last deep dive we've done is about either the Soji Bill or Liza Soberano. Either of them. But I kind of do miss this, talking about just one thing for the entire stream. So let's begin now. Welcome, finally again, everybody, to today's stream. Pag-uusapan natin ngayon si Slater Young. Now, if you've been on the internet the past few days, I think this first came about nung Saturday. I remember, nasa eroplano ako, pauwi, and kaka-touchdown lang namin yata sa Manila. Pagbukas ko ng cellphone ko, syempre, una nating bubuksan social media. Mamaya na yung mag-text sa lahat ng mga kaibigan at pamilya na nakaland na. Una muna social media, 'di ba? Check those notifications. One of the first things I saw was an Inquirer post talking about Slater. And this was probably it. So if you've been on the internet the past few days, you've likely seen this. So let me read this for you. Sup, Mac? TikTok fam yan si Mac. It's just a fact of life that sabi niya to in a podcast that this is not as much as important as the second sentence. Yung mga groups na nagsisend ng photos of girls and fantasizing over it, it's normal, sabi ni Slater Young. It's very, very normal. So he stresses the words very, very normal and fantasizing and photos of girls fantasizing over it. And it's very controversial because he's a married guy. He's in a relationship and a lot of people didn't take this too well. So before we go talk more about this, gusto lang sabihin sa inyo that if your career is on the internet, if you literally talk on the internet or in public for a living, given a long enough timeline, you're gonna say something bad. And it's not a matter of if you say something bad, you will. Eventually, one day, you will say something that's out of line, out of pocket, and i-call out ka ng mga nanonood sa'yo or mga sumasabaybay sa inyo. Now, if that ever happens to me, chat, please be kind because a lot of people automatically went 100 the other way around against Slater nung sinabi niya to. And if you're the number one podcaster in the Philippines, chat, whatever you say is going to be magnified by 1,000 times. So they are the number one podcast in the Philippines. And that is the case with Slater Young. A few days ago, he was clipped and quoted saying this very thing that I showed you a few seconds ago. O, diba? Ayan. I'll read it again. Yung mga photos, ito yung pinaka-target na mga tao online. Yung mga groups na nagsisend ng photos of girls and fantasizing over it. He said, it's very, very normal. So, right now, if you try to look for the video, you're not gonna find the video. I did try looking for it myself. I ended up being on a past video which was flooded with comments by people trying to look for the video. And of course, somebody said, timestamp, wala na raw. Dinilit na nila yung video. They also deleted the podcast of the actual podcast kung saan sinabi ni Slater yun. Now, there are many things to unpack here, but before we go on, chat, I do want to say, as a disclaimer, I do look up to Slater Young. This is one of my personal favorites. Over here, he teka nga, tanggalin na natin yung music. Over here, he does write a love letter to his wife. One of my personal favorites, this video.
And to this day, you fascinate me. You are my best friend, the person I want to be with until I'm old and gray.
Probably not the best clip part of the video, but you get the idea. I thought it was fascinating. Engineer siya, decides to write a love letter. I thought he was gonna write a love letter about engineering or home improvement, but then he writes a love letter to his wife, professing kung gaano niya kamahal. Happy birthday as well, sinabi niya sa wife niya. I thought it was sweet, really cool, but not only did I look up to him in the way he was showing love sa asawa niya. Creatively, over the pandemic, he also inspired me with content. So if you look over here, chat, this may look familiar to you. So this is Slater again.
Just building. And building alone can save you sandali lang. Ano pinagsasabi mong build?
Yes,
Buying
because
is the best
building
way.
can...
Headache. No, we've talked about
Yeah,
this
we talked about
already.
this. Buying.
Building.
All right, so you see that? Now check this out. That's me, old video. Sino kaya pwede kong kakolab sa live stream? Mind if I join you? Tara. Huh? G. So that's another moment in time which I want to show you na talagang this guy was inspirational to me. So in a way, I also want to admit that I may be slightly biased in what we're about to talk about today. After all, the title of the video is Slater Young Did the Right Thing. But a lot of people think he's a good role model too. If you're watching this video, kung nag-click kayo dito, then you probably already know that he's the internet's darling husband. They quote him, the quote for him or the name for him is a walking green flag. So it's not just me who thinks he's really cool and really aspirational. Other people tend to look up to him too. In fact, these videos became very, very viral. We won't play the music kasi baka ma-copyright strike tayo. Right? All right. Yeah, keep the opinions coming in, o diba? This is him just it's kind of weird that they have this on camera or that they videoed it and then they published it, but who the hell cares? This could be happening on or off the camera. They're just very, very sweet to each other. And then another video, super viral as well. This one, also can't play the music here kasi maka-copyright strike tayo. O, diba? Naol, diba? O, diba? Ang sweet-sweet nila. So yeah, a lot of people do actually think he's somebody we can all look up to. But chat, the internet, hindi nila nagustuhan yung sinabi ni Slater. Para sa kanila, yung sinabi ni Slater, kalokohan. I really like Slater Young, but I'm not defending him this time or taking his side on this recent issue. It happens, but it's not normal. Don't make it seem like it's okay just because it happens a lot. Kung pick ni Chris Uy ang gisend sa GC and gifantasize sa imo friends, okay ra? So sorry kung pangit yung pagkakasabi ko. Hindi naman ako hasa sa if I'm not mistaken Visayan to. Other people didn't like it. Another comment here. So this is from this person. When they finally start to dislike the person, you had a bad feeling about all along. So I guess hindi siya ganun kalaking fan ni
Oh my God!
ni Slater Young all this time. And finally, na may lumabas na matinding baho syempre release siya ng video saying that, well, I told you, never liked this guy all along. Even this one is a more substantial comment on the Slater Young issue. So I'll play you a few seconds here, chat.
Lang daw yun as long as hindi naman daw nag-cheat yung guy.
I don't know how I feel about that whole thing, but I want to ask my husband, what are your thoughts on what Slater Young said?
It would hurt my wife if I do that, and it will be disrespectful, unfaithful, and I know it will have a big wound on our marriage. And
Okay, so there are people who are really against what he said, and then there are also some na medyo sympathetic kay Slater. Sabi dito, I also think that the hate they're getting from this is not fair. Those people who are canceling them were also the ones who used to say na sana ako si Chris, sana all my Slater. So the love here is kind of weird because then, you know, your idol screws up the first time, next thing you know, you hate him for life. The person follows up by saying, I am in no way justifying what they said in the podcast. Fantasizing about women is not okay and it shouldn't be normalized, especially if you're married. So may mga nagsisympathize, diba? But I do have to say that when you frame your idols as people as well, parang normal lang sila, tao lang din sila, nagkakamali sila. There's a fine line na ayaw mo i-tread. There's a fine line that you do not want to cross. You also do not want to say that because these people are human, they can make mistakes, pwede na lang sila basta-basta magkamali. Let's not forget that they're the top podcast in the Philippines. So basically, they're not exactly your average person. they're not exactly average like most of us. And while they are still human and can make mistakes, chat, they're definitely held to a higher standard. So now, I'm gonna put my opinion on this matter. Para sa mga kakapasok lang, yung context dito is Slater Young, when asked over one of their previous podcasts, kasi may namang problema na nag-send sa kanila ng help. They call it letters from the sky. Tinanong, yung boyfriend niya raw, may mga group chat kung saan nagsisend sila ng mga photos ng girls. And then to that, Slater Young said that it's very, very normal for this to happen. So it's very controversial, especially since in a relationship si Slater, and it does empower people who do this and are in a relationship to keep doing it again. To keep doing it. So ito yung opinion ko, and it's very, very simplified, but this is what I first thought when it came out. So chat, in a GC, kung ito yung nangyayari, may mga nag-send ng photos. When single guys in your group chat post thirst traps, that's okay because they're single. And then when taken guys do this, however, hindi yun okay. So when single guys post thirst traps, okay, they can do whatever they want, they're single. When taken guys do this, that's completely not okay. Now, when single guys post thirst traps, they can say whatever they want within reason. Again, because they're single. I think taken guys at this point can only have neutral responses. As in, yung mga replies nila dapat, they do not lessen the dignity of their girlfriends or boyfriends or the integrity of the relationship. Diba? So you see, I have at this point, meron akong black and white side to it. Single guys, bahala kayo, basta you're saying things within reason. Taken guys, I'm sorry, pero ang pwede nyo lang sabihin, neutral responses that does not compromise your relationship or your girlfriend in any way whatsoever. So in saying that, I thought I was able to address what Slater said when he said na sakyan na lang daw natin yung mga GC, yung mga group chat na yan. I was under the impression na yung pagpo-post ng girls and boys in group chats are entirely normal. After all, if you go back to the previous Reddit post, which I will show you right now, there are a good number of comments about the normalcy of fantasizing over other people. So let me show you right now. Fantasizing, naka-quote dito, fantasizing about anyone but not acting on it is literally how we survive each day. You hate your boss, but it's unlikely you're gonna run him over when you see him in the parking lot, right? Everyone has some bad thoughts. Many are harmless. Slater just stated the obvious, that which we are already doing. Fantasize all you want, but keep to yourself and don't act on it. Don't be like religious nuts who like to police our thoughts. Another comment here. Fantasies of the preferred gender has always been normal. What is frowned upon is acting upon it in any manner that hurts the partner or spouse unless they're in an open relationship. Another comment here. Stop being holier than thou. Everyone has fantasies. Everyone has crushes. It's natural. It's human nature. It doesn't mean you stop having these thoughts when you're married or are in a relationship. The important thing is that you know your boundaries. So may ganun, 'di ba? May ganun na angle where people seem to agree or where my opinion seems to fit in with these comments. Hold on. But chat, honestly, eventually I realized that I failed to see the bigger picture here. Na although may boundaries tayo, although we do not act upon it, although we send pictures or we fantasize over other people, and that's normal, that's part of life. As long as you don't act on it, you're not doing anything bad. I think the bigger picture here that I seem to be missing is yung mismong pag-objectify sa ibang tao na yun mismo ang pwede nating ayusin. So, this might give you a better idea of what I'm trying to say.
I think it's normal for people who weren't raised right, for guys who weren't taught how to respect women, and for guys who aren't man enough to say that it's wrong. Because as I said before, guy group chats is where the degenerate behavior comes out, and it's up to the other guys in that group chat to actually say that, hey, this is wrong. It's not
okay. We can. I just realized we can't play this video for too long kasi may maka-copyright din tayo. But I have another video for you. This one paints it clearer.
But you know what's wrong with this mindset? It's the assumption that just because things are normal, it's automatically right. Here's the thing. The goal is to not normalize it further. The goal is to go against it and recognize that it's wrong to talk about girls as if they're objects, but secondly, it's also wrong to fantasize or look at other women while you're in a committed, faithful relationship. Guys, always remember, progress only comes if we choose to defy status quo. If we choose...
Okay, so this is also the part where I think Slater did the right thing. So I'm not sure if you've seen it yet or kung mapapanood din nyo, but watch the Spotify podcast because I don't want to rip the entire thing off. I'll just play a few seconds here from another TikTok video. So Slater Young apologizes and he does it in a way that's not only very convincing, but also very holistic. Pag-usapan natin yan after a few seconds of the apology video.
Set a better example. I should have called it out. Na parang, yeah, it happens, but this isn't okay. We should hold ourselves to a higher standard.
Yeah.
Wherein, sa akin, like, oh, it happens. Don't worry about it. Yun yung sinabi ko.
Because also we always think about like,
Okay, so again, may copyright music, so we're gonna avoid the copyright music for now. Ma-GGG tayo, matatanggal yung post natin. Here you go. So I summarized it for you, chat, so that you don't have to watch it. But again, I suggest you watch it kasi okay siya. Chat, he literally admitted that he was initially firm about his stance, but opened himself up to people's comments to be able to see the nuance in the issue. Nung una, sabi niya, parang wala namang problema yung sinabi niya. Solid naman yung sinabi niya. But the more he read comments, he said, the more he realized na teka lang, may mali talaga sa sinabi niya. So it was only when he did that he was able to realize the gravity of his error. And then eventually he also recognized, chat, I've been mentioning this earlier, hindi sila normal na tao. They're very influential and a lot of people look up to them for advice. Their show is literally giving advice to people who ask for relationship advice and life advice. So he recognized the influence behind his opinions, and sabi ni Slater that by talking about it in the way that he did, na very, very normal lang yung mga ganun na galawan sa GC, he said that he's perpetuating negative behavior. And at some point also in the apology video, Chris brought up the idea na pwedeng may miscom lang sa technicalities or sa pagkakasabi ni Slater, but almost immediately, shut down ni Slater yon, saying na kahit na possible na may miscommunication lang with the way he phrased his advice, poor choice of words pa rin daw yon, and inako niya pa rin yung error by saying na talagang mali lang yung advice niya. Which I thought was genuine because there was already a nice technical workaround sa sinabi niya, because it does make sense. Pangit lang talaga yung salitang fantasize when he could have meant something totally different. But still, at the end of the day, he did own up to his mistakes. He took responsibility for his actions and he was apologetic, which is why I think he did the right thing. In the end, chat, I think this comment sums it up pretty well. Let me show you. Men or women, all right? Men or women can fantasize about others even while being in a committed relationship. But we can always make the choice to stay faithful. As influencers, they should be careful on what ideas or concepts they support kasi they can influence young minds. Seeing its normal behavior encourages it. Imagine how that can affect the self-esteem and peace of mind of their partners. So yeah, I think this one perfectly sums it up. All the thoughts, opinions from both sides nakuha netong comment na to. But in the end, I do want to also in the same way kind of update the black and white response I initially had. Because initially I said, it was as simple as single guys can do this or single people can do this in group chats. But people in relationships can only do something or can only say things up to a certain extent. May ganun akong pananaw nung simula. But I think that we should update this, no? Because on the one hand, there's that. Fantasies and it being all right are okay, basta wag ka lang magloko. Don't cheat. Don't put your partner in a compromising position. And then when I played TikTok videos later on, I showed you that on the other side of the coin, andun din yung purist idea, zero tolerance. Dapat i-eradicate mo yung behavior na yon mismo mula sa sarili mo or sa ibang tao. Pagsabihan mo yung mga kaibigan mo na nagsisend ng mga pictures. And kung ayaw nilang makinig at nagsisend pa rin sila ng mga pictures, umalis ka na sa GC. So you see, there's these two sides, I think, at the moment. And as with most big questions in life chat, cheesy and cop-out as it seems, the answer lies in the middle. And instead of using the word fantasize at this point, kasi medyo loaded na yung salitang fantasize, di ba? I think that's what got people wrapped up in arms the moment na nasabi yun ni Slater. Instead of using the word fantasize, how about we use the words happy crush? I think happy crush is a word or are words or is a term that most of us can resonate with. okay lang sa atin kung may mga happy crush tayo, whether or not you're in a relationship, di ba? So, let's replace fantasize with happy crush, and things seem to make more sense. But I don't think we're still addressing the issue, the photos in the group chat issue. If it comes to it, the question is, should you want to show should you share photos of your happy crush sa mga GC mo? Again, sorry. Pero ang sagot dito, yes and no pa rin. I think you can share photos of your happy crush if maybe you want to show your friends or family who you're dating or maybe who you're seeing. Diba? Pwede yun. But I think we should work on understanding that it's not okay if the intention behind is essentially objectification. Kapag ino-objectify na natin or yung mga tao or yung mga pinopost natin na happy crush, right? That's when it becomes no. And if at this point wala kayong clear idea of what objectifying can mean, I think one way to put it would be, are you singling out attributes or mga katangian ng taong to without really looking at them for who they are as a whole or for digging deeper into them? Objectification, essentially. Ayun yung ibig sabihin nun. So it's a fairly complicated issue that we always have to make conscious decisions about. And difficult as it may be at this moment, chat. Diba ngayon, ang dami na nating ifs, buts, marami na tayong considerations. Happy crush ba yan? Pwede mo bang isend? Hindi mo ba isisend yan? Bakit mo hindi isisend? Diba, ang dami na natin pinag-uusapan at this point. But we do have to accept na very nuanced itong topic na to. And there are limitations as to what we can do when we talk about our happy crushes, or even send photos of your happy crush, because it's very the amount of times you can do that are very, very limited. So this alone is a complex issue, and we haven't yet even talked about celebrities, influencers, or even adult actors and actresses who literally make a living out of their physical appearances. Very complicated, but I hope we all learned a thing or two from it. That's all. That's all I really want to talk about today. Let me go back to your comments. Actually, the entire stream, naiilang ako magsalita because I normally hear music in my left ear, and now that it's just me talking, parang sarili ko lang yung naririnig ko. I don't know how to pace myself, when to take a pause. So medyo nanibago tayo dun. For me, as a statement is later, it happens but not normal and it's not okay. Boys will be boys. I know sa akin pagaling, pero we need to grow and learn from the situation. Yeah, I think one of the comments I read is that I think may idea tayo that boys will be boys is an okay thing to do, but really it has to change. It has to change in the same way that girls have their own quirks that we just have to accept. Those things have to change as well. Lakas din daw nila, sabi ni Paolo, lakas din daw nila maka-clout chase. But this doesn't mean na masama sila, kakaumay lang sila. I've heard a lot, I've listened to a lot of podcasts ni Slater Young and ni Chris Uy, probably at least a dozen. And I don't always agree with what they have to say, but I think that's the fun part about listening to podcasts. If you're listening to podcasts to just agree to everything you're hearing, I don't think productive yun. I don't think productive session yun or productive use of your time yun. I think the entire idea of listening to podcasts, especially podcasts about giving advice, is that you also learn which ones to listen to, which ones to maybe think about some more, and which ones to totally reject because it doesn't align with your personal moral code. Um, Ayun. So, agree naman si Paolo na yung mali daw is ginagawa sa group chat yon. Yeah, keep it to yourself is one of the comments I've often read. Keep it to yourself. But even then, I think even if you just keep it to your own self, hindi pa rin natin na-address yung pinaka issue, which is basically the objectification of other people. So it's very tough, right? It's very tough because it's almost as if this shortcut of objectifying other people is our heuristic to categorize people in a short amount of time because because it makes sense, you know, to na when we box people, when we I don't know what I'm trying to say, pero parang it sounds good in my head, but I can't seem to say it right now. But when we box people in a certain image, mali yun, period. But also at the same time, it's human nature to do this so that we don't expend a lot of resources in getting to know other people. Again, not a justification. Overall, the goal is to avoid objectification because we're all human, di ba? Mag-DM ka sa isang tao, isang tao lang, dali lang naman ma-copy and paste kasi pag nag-group chat ka, nag-send, doon nagiging mali. Yeah. I think when I said happy crush a while ago, it's just another way to talk about fantasizing over other people, because right now when we say fantasize or when we say fantasy, especially in the context of the podcast that we had, or that Slater and Chris were in, may mali na automatic may mali na sa topic pa lang. Yung tanong kasi nung girl, anong gagawin ko sa boyfriend ko na parte ng GC kung saan nagsisend sila ng mga photos ng mga babae? Doon pa lang mali na 'di ba? So ngayon yung word na fantasize, nagkaroon tuloy siya ng pangit na connotation. Pero pag sinabi nating happy crush, it becomes a little clearer because now it's harmless. It's a harmless crush. And then again, I talked about it earlier. Should it come to the point na ipapadala mo yung photos ng happy crush mo, okay lang ba? I did say that, well, yes and no. Maybe yes if you're just showing your family and friends who you're dating and seeing. Kumbaga, it's an honest answer, wholesome, but it's not right anymore kapag may sense of objectification na. So yeah. That's all for today, chat. I hope that if you didn't watch the entire video, you find some time to watch it, because I did a lot of research for this and it took me 2 days. But in the end, medyo nailang ako dahil wala tayong music na naririnig dito. Maybe we should play music again next time. What do you think? See what I mean, Paolo? You're objectifying me. That's exactly what I meant. You know what I mean now? So, yun yung ano natin, yun yung mga iniiwasan dapat natin. I mean, it's silly, right? When it comes to, because we don't know, it's a complex issue. Again, I did mention at the end of the discussion na how about influencers, creators, personalities, celebrities who literally post topless bikini pictures and make a living off of that. And they would gladly appreciate if you send it to your group chats, yung mga photos nilang ganun, di ba? So it's a complex issue, one that we should always be conscious about whenever we make these kinds of decisions. Thank you, Paring Ray. Wait, press 1 if you like it without music. Press 2 if you think that we should kind of have music. Diba? Okay, so we have one. We have 1-1 and 1-2. We can't, Paolo, I'm sorry, your vote only counts once. Ang awkward kasi pag walang music, sarili ko lang yung naririnig ko. Ang next discussion daw si Rendon. Bakit ba? Hindi ba tayo pwede magkaroon ng motivational rice? I have been seeing Rendon over the news. I think kinalaban niya si Bitoy. Tama ba? Na sinasabi niya na thing of the past na ang traditional media. Social media is where the magic is right now. Laos na kayo. Medyo, I think, honestly, just brushing over it, I think that when he said this, he's literally trying to prove a point. Because he's a social media sensation, and the way he does it is by saying polarizing things, nagsalita siya in a very, very intense way against Bitoy. Gets ba? Or yun mismo, I think people seem to miss the message here. The fact that he said something very intense, very dividing, something controversial, is him stressing the point that social media is a different animal. But I think I'm reading too deep into it. Let's play the music a little weaker next time. Hininaan na natin to. Hihinaan pa natin ng mas lalo. For now though, this is where the stream ends. Kakain tayo ng chocolate fudge hopya. Very, very viral TikTok food sa Kumu. I'm jumping over there right now. I'll see you again tomorrow, chat. We'll have meme review tomorrow. And then on Thursday, let's talk about another topic which I thought was interesting. The topic, not really a deep dive, but more of an open discussion. The topic on Thursday, if I'm not mistaken, is going to be, should you video yourself while breaking down? I saw a discussion over it and I thought it was very interesting. See you over at Kumu. Meron pasalubong actually. May pasalubong tayo, but it's very limited, and the first 10 people I see from chat, bibigay ko sa kanila yung pasalubong na yun. First come, first serve. See you, chat. See you on Kumu if you're gonna come over there. Bye, everybody. More on that, Paolo, over at Kumu. Those things I don't think we can openly say here. Not that we can say it in Kumu either. But let's talk about that in Kumu. Bye-bye, everybody. See you tomorrow. Please like the video if you haven't yet. Paki-like na. Bye-bye, 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 bye-bye.